faster than sound.
As much as I enjoyed killing people in the original Grand Theft Auto, I actually fucking didn't. A lot like me, mentally, it just wasn't quite all there, and I'm definitely not feeling anywhere near brainwashed enough. Meaning that my only option at this point is to look elsewhere in a game that was made later that's more violent, graphically advanced, and is just generally more refined and better because of it. Except my copy of Driver doesn't currently exist, so we're slumming it with GTA 2. Instead, which I'm sure will be just as good. Just look at that sleek new title, and how it's just slightly off-center. Is that annoying enough yet? I'm just gonna keep it there a little longer. There we go. Good start. What with the original Grand Theft Auto being famous for its well-written, thought-out and above all existent storyline that was highly praised for being, quote, present, the only natural course of action this time around was to further expand on these established plot points in a movie, GTA 2 the movie. Plot points including driving, running, and driving, and let's just say they did more with that than was possible. That's not a good thing. The only thing to come from this though was a shorter compressed version used as the game's intro, but because this alone wasn't enough to justify a company trip to America, stills are also used behind each loading screen, regardless of how irrelevant, out of place and jarring they are. Which is a lot, and all the time because of the game and its actual style and setting you're pushed unwillingly into being an extremely distant, unimaginable dystopian future of 2013. Resulting in a lot of I don't want to see this, why are you making me look at this? Although to be fair, consistency was always English to Rockstar, what with the mix of cars from the 40s and 2040s, also again, their insistence on slamming drum and bass into the soundtrack despite the fact that its popularity in America can be measured in me. It's zero me, because nothing says America quite like... In the end though, that didn't stop me from getting really into this whole depressing cyberpunk vibe. Until... wow, there's a surprise. In looking up the movie, I happened to see a screenshot of the PC version, making me suddenly feel like I was walking past a house in which I could see all my friends having fun without me. Which hasn't happened, I didn't even want to go. I want that, why can't I have that? Instead I've already stuck myself with this, which is obviously my fault, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to now complain about it throughout the entire video. The immediate difference in gameplay this time is that missions aren't given by random people from random payphones in random sections of the map, but instead from specific gangs from specific payphones in their specific hideouts. You're given the choice of 3 gangs to work for on each map, increasing and decreasing their respect as you do so, and that there was their attempt at pulling a massive 180 by adopting the tagline, "Respect is everything."
Respect is everything.
Actually resulting in a sick 360 melon grab because they're lying. Stop lying. Don't lie. Maxing out the respect with one gang literally only determines the difficulty of the missions you can attempt and how much rival gangs really want to say hi to you really hard with their bullets when you pass them on the street. Money is actually everything again, since it's the actual wider objective of the game and the only way to progress. In fact, if you happen to be someone complaining about it on the internet and you are patient, dedicated and willing to put the time and effort in, you could just ignore the gangs entirely and make money by blowing shit up. Which is why I just chose the blue one, because it was nearest to me at the time. So, with the aid of my handy translator, we can in fact see that in reality, respect means, yep, there you go, fuck all. But then, I found out there's a gang called the Loonies that consist entirely of escaped mental patients operating out of abandoned insane asylums and acting as an organisation. Just like Scientology. So obviously I turned the fucking game off to restart and pledge my undying loyalty exclusively to them. The game's missions, also unlike the first, have a reason to exist, are possible, and most importantly, have been designed. That one's my favourite. Meaning that they were also forced into making an interesting map with cool places that accommodate these missions for you to explore even if you hate the missions, except in the one case where hating something would be a benefit, I don't. Not only are they possible because of the first game's elusive, enchanted, magical machine gun found right next to where you're given the mission, as well as health and armor, but because something as simple as having a rival means that they also feel important and that they're contributing to something. A feeling I've never felt before in my life. For example, I don't know what other boring shit the other fuckos have you do, but the jobs I always get go something like, this restaurant I went to sucked, so first of all I'm going to need you to get the explosives, and I've definitely been there. Despite the fact that everyone is just a pile of what appears to be shit. The only thing highbrow about me is my receding hairline. Relying more heavily on characters than the first game helps a lot, even introducing a new protagonist, Claude Speed. Don't laugh, he can't help it. And while I mean it's not that impressive, but after having just played GTA 1, it just feels good to not be playing GTA 1. Not to mention Claude's character being about as in-depth as they come, what with him being a ruthless, no questions asked wheelman with a skill set to take on anything for the right price. And his one flaw being his fatal weakness to metal bullets travelling really fast and going through his skin. And can't we all see a little bit of ourselves in that? While nothing to do with the characters or story ever does anything or goes anywhere, the game still has a huge draw in the form of fucking Rockstar and their fucking weird atmosphere, which was first really present in this game. I know it could all just be their sense of humour, and that it probably is, but regardless, it results in the game being generally really creepy. That decision was made, this game is a product of that, and that's just how it is. In terms of tone and depth, the game's story and world plays a bigger part, which is a massive 180 from the pride of Scottish engineering that was the first game's playmat cityscape. First off, you have the fact that religion is made a big part of the story and gameplay, for a reason I'm sure someone somewhere must have had presumably. Seen both in the Krishners operating as a major faction controlling an entire district, and how the only way to save the game and progress is to make a huge cash donation to a church that is always positioned in the centre of each district. Again, the joke there is obviously that saving your game is done by saving your soul and that churches are just for-profit businesses, but also again, that doesn't stop the objective of the entire game from being to run around making shady money by any means and giving it all to a church, and that's only what's told to you by the game honestly. Because as well as just looking dark and gritty, it couldn't look more fucking bleak and depressing if it was literally America, so good job. Just imagining the absolute state of a city having to put up with this level of shit from gangs, religions and corporations is eerie enough, or if you're American, just look outside. Last time, I promise. I get that that's the joke, and it would be if it wasn't trying to be so realistic, but so is life. When death doesn't matter, don't worry, even I want to punch myself. And although this isn't what I wanted or expected at all, it's still what I got, and I thought it was pretty cool. That's for what the game is, and that's way too short and easy. To be fair, unlike the first, which was way too long and hard, a lot like pleasing me, clearly. It just could have really done with some collectibles that weren't these collectibles, since these also do fuck all outside of unlocking bonus levels that are just timed and recorded tasks you could have done for fun in the actual game. Also, some side missions would have been sweet. Yeah, all are problems that would probably be fixed by not playing the half-assed scaled down port, but there's only one real way to fix that. But first, I'm gonna need a fuck ton of explosives.